This is Epic Book Recaps, a podcast that offers complimentary audio summaries of influential nonfiction books, making learning a smarter experience. Einstein by Walter Isaacson. The visionary who transformed our understanding of physics. Albert Einstein, often regarded as a symbol of genius, was a revolutionary figure in the realm of science. His imaginative and pioneering spirit led him to perceive a universal harmony waiting to be unveiled by scientific exploration. Einstein's most notable contribution to science is the general theory of relativity, which presents an interplay between matter, motion, and energy. This groundbreaking theory, rather than materializing from a laboratory experiment, was birthed from a profound thought experiment. Einstein's journey into the realm of science commenced in 1895 when he was just 16 years old. Over the next 3 decades, he gained recognition as a revolutionary figure. By 1925, he had reached a pivotal juncture in his career and began to question the quantum revolution that he had played a part in initiating. His resistance to this revolution persisted until his death in 1955. In the political sphere, Einstein was a staunch advocate of individual freedom, opposing state control and the concentration of power. As a pacifist, he resisted nationalism, militarism, and herd mentality. His prediction of the 1919 eclipse, which proved accurate, brought him widespread fame. Einstein displayed a kindness, humility, and gentleness that contrasted sharply with his detachment from his family. This is evident in the fact that 17 years after his divorce from his first wife, Mileva Maric, he gave her the prize money from his Nobel Prize in Physics, keeping a promise he had made prior to their separation. This synopsis provides a glimpse into the public and private life of a man whose revolutionary discoveries have significantly shaped the modern world. Einstein's life and works encourage us to embrace a scientific approach, seeking factual evidence that either validates or refutes general theories, while retaining a childlike sense of wonder. We're about to embark on an exploration of the benefits of cultivating an ability to think creatively and maintain focus against all odds. This will help us create a lasting legacy. So, get ready to uncover more about a man who dared to challenge conventional wisdom, equipped with a level of curiosity that was unparalleled. A reflection on youth and inquisitiveness. Einstein's development was slow during his early years. He didn't start speaking until he was over 2 years old, and it took practice for him to express his thoughts orally. He had a unique way of thinking, wherein he first visualized ideas in the form of images and then articulated them in words. Einstein's parents, of Jewish descent, lived in the rural villages of Swabia in southwestern Germany. Despite being irreligious, they highly valued education. This environment fostered an independence of thought in the young Albert. His father, Hermann, was born in the Swabian village of Bukow in 1847, while his mother, Pauline Koch, was 11 years younger. Despite their age difference, Pauline had a strong personality that balanced Hermann's passivity. Einstein was born in the city of Ulm on the 14th of March, 1879, at 11:30 a.m. A year later, the family relocated to Munich. His only sibling, Maria, affectionately known as Maya, was born in November 1881, and the siblings shared a deep bond. Einstein's childhood was marked by solitude and deep contemplation. He was more interested in quiet reflection than playing games with his cousins or the other children who often visited their backyard. He enjoyed solving puzzles and constructing complex structures with his toy building set. He also had fits of temper, which he eventually grew out of. A defining moment in his childhood was when he became captivated by a compass, fascinated by the invisible force field that controlled its needle. This encounter left a lasting impression on Einstein and led to his deep interest in field theories. From a young age, Einstein abhorred rote learning. He viewed mathematical problems from a practical perspective, seeing them as applicable to everyday life. Even though he could formulate complex equations, he saw them primarily as a means to express the beauty of nature. As he grew up, Einstein demonstrated a tendency to systematize rather than empathize. He was passionate about music and often played the violin. Music played a key role in Einstein's thinking process. He had a particular fondness for Mozart. To Einstein, music mirrored the harmony of the universe. His appreciation for nature, love for music, and belief in God were closely intertwined. Despite being Jewish, Einstein attended a Catholic school and faced anti-Semitic hostility from his peers. This experience reinforced his perception of himself as an outsider. Einstein excelled academically. At the age of 10, his family began hosting a poor medical student named Max Talmud every Thursday. Talmud brought science books with him on these visits, sparking Einstein's interest. The genesis of great discoveries, imagination, and boldness. Albert's introduction to science began with a comprehensive 21-volume encyclopedia of natural science. It was in these books that he first read about the connection between biology and physics. The vast universe of knowledge captivated the 10-year-old, absorbing all his attention. Just prior to his bar mitzvah, a Jewish rite of passage at age 12, Einstein developed a disdain for religion. For the rest of his life, he avoided religious ceremonies and practices. He was convinced that the wealth of scientific knowledge available refuted the stories of the Bible. Einstein's skepticism towards authority shaped both his scientific and social ideologies. This contrarian attitude affected his school life at the Luitpold Gymnasium in Munich. While dealing with the school authorities, his father's business collapsed, leading to a period of depression for Einstein. In the autumn of 1894, he decided to leave school and move to Pavia, Italy, where his family had settled. He chose to study independently to prepare for admission to a technical college. Another reason for leaving the gymnasium was that he didn't want to serve in the army, which he would have been obligated to do if he had continued in the school until the age of 17. At the young age of 16, Albert authored his first scientific work titled On the Investigation of the State of the Ether in a Magnetic Field. Notably, he would later prove the assumption of ether to be incorrect. Unfortunately, Einstein failed to secure admission to the Polytechnic Institute. He spent the following year at a cantonal school in the village of Aarau, 25 miles west of Zurich. The school's teaching method, which was based on Pestalozzi's approach, proved a good fit for Einstein. This method encouraged students to be unique and provided them ample opportunity to express their thoughts. Teachers didn't provide ready-made answers, but instead guided students to draw their own conclusions. Einstein firmly believed that educational institutions should foster an unstructured system of education, allowing students to question what they're taught and develop their own understanding of reality. According to him, imagination and creativity should take precedence over rote learning in schools. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Tilde Albert Einstein. Walter Isaacson. Interestingly, despite what popular belief might suggest, Einstein did not struggle with mathematics as a child. Before reaching the age of 15, he was already proficient in calculus. The fundamental value of freedom of expression. In Aarau, Einstein became acquainted with the Vintler family, who virtually became his second family. His life became intricately tied to this family in many ways. He had his first romantic relationship with their daughter, while her sister went on to marry Einstein's best friend. Additionally, Einstein's sister married the Vintler's son. Einstein's performance at the end of his studies in Aarau was commendable, with his grades being the second highest in his class. Eventually, he was admitted to the Zurich Polytechnic, a reputable institution known for its engineering programs. Albert aspired to become a teacher of exact sciences, with physics being his preferred subject. However, Einstein often irked his tutors at the university with his audacity, impatience, and arrogance. He was ahead of his classmates in terms of knowledge. His close friend and study partner, Marcel Grossmann, who was adept at mathematics, helped Einstein enhance his knowledge. This collaboration enabled Einstein to formulate the general theory of relativity. Together, the friends delved into groundbreaking findings in physics that were yet to be included in standard academic curriculums. During his time at the university, Albert met Mileva Maric, who later became his first wife. Mileva, who was 3 years his senior, was one of his classmates and one of the 5 girls studying physics and mathematics. Mileva was also among the first women in Austria-Hungary to gain access to higher education. Mileva would create an emotional field more powerful than that of anyone else in Einstein's life. Tilda Walter Isaacson. Walter Isaacson. The couple's relationship lasted for 16 years, and they had 2 sons. Their relationship was harmonious as they resonated on the same frequency. Albert would often tell his wife that his audacity served as his guardian angel in life. To harness his imagination, Einstein had to dare to be different. This is a lesson that society can learn from him today, to foster an environment that supports free thinking. Not everyone will become an Einstein, but we can all learn to identify and enhance our strengths. To understand the universe and attain wisdom, we must keep an open mind. In today's interconnected world, creativity is more important than ever. Did you know? Einstein failed an exam in physics because he disregarded the instructions and did things his own way. Social norms, constraints on the life of a genius. Einstein's time at the Zurich Polytechnic left him with fond memories. However, he was often critical of the rigidity of the examination system. He and Maric were compelled to work on a research paper that they had no interest in. His tutor awarded him a grade of 4.9, just enough for him to graduate in August 1900. Maric, on the other hand, received a grade of 4.0 and had to stay on for an additional year. Initially, Einstein's family opposed his relationship with Maric. They found her unattractive and older than Einstein. They were also fond of his first ex-girlfriend. However, over time, Albert managed to win them over with his charm. Attempts to secure a job and gain Zurich citizenship proved unsuccessful for Einstein. His former professors held a grudge against him for his nonconformist attitude, and his citizenship was contingent on him having a permanent job. Hence, he had to resort to giving private lessons. During this challenging time, the theoretical papers he was writing and Mileva Maric's support kept him going. Even though his first paper didn't contribute significantly to the field of physics, he managed to get it published. This achievement boosted his chances of finding a job. Despite his efforts, however, he remained unemployed. Fortunately, his friend Marcel Grossmann used his father's connection with the director of the Swiss Patent Office to help Einstein secure a job. This development led to Einstein finally obtaining Swiss citizenship 4 years after he had renounced his German citizenship. In May 1901, after a romantic vacation at Lake Como, Mileva Maric became pregnant. Einstein reassured her that he would find a job, even if he had to work for an insurance company, to provide a stable home for their family. Working as a patent examiner turned out to be a blessing in disguise for Einstein. His job allowed him to challenge basic assumptions rather than playing it safe. Plus, it paid better than a junior professorship would have. When Mileva Maric gave birth, she didn't allow Einstein to see her because they were not yet married. Given that Swiss officials were expected to maintain a respectable image, Mileva returned alone to Zurich from her parents' home after giving birth. She left her daughter with her grandparents. Tragically, the girl died in infancy. A year later, Einstein and Maric got married and soon had 2 sons. Did you know? According to official statistics, 12% of births in Zurich in 1901 were illegitimate. Maintaining your core amidst external opposition. Einstein was nominated for the Nobel Prize in Physics several times during the 1910s. The scientific committee contemplated awarding him for his creation of the theory of relativity. However, they felt there was a lack of experimental evidence supporting the theory. In the subsequent years, various influential scientists renominated Einstein, but to no avail. Albert's idea was too revolutionary. The commission members did not dare to recognize it. As a compromise, they decided to award him the Nobel Prize in 1921, but for a different discovery, the theory of the photoelectric effect, which was beyond dispute and conclusively proven. Nevertheless, the wording of the prize was noticeably generalized, hinting at the recognition of Einstein's other contributions. The Academy of Sciences clarified that they would evaluate his other works once they were experimentally confirmed and substantiated. Despite being awarded for a different discovery, Einstein dedicated his Nobel Prize acceptance speech to the theory of relativity. During and after World War I, Albert faced persecution and threats from Nazi organizations that opposed him and even plotted his assassination. In 1931, they published the book 100 Authors Against Einstein, attributing Albert's works to other scientists and branding him as a charlatan. After 1933, Einstein never returned to Germany. He relocated to the United States and accepted a professorship in physics at the Institute for Advanced Study. While his professional life was on the rise, his personal life started to unravel. He began flirting with his first cousin, Elsa Einstein, while his lonely wife remained in Prague. Eventually, he agreed to a separation and subsequent divorce. He also developed a dislike for marriage and devoted himself entirely to science. Einstein's extraordinary talent and intellect brought him worldwide fame and recognition. He used his influence to advocate for justice and peaceful collaboration between nations. He received letters daily and always attempted to reply, even to curious children. Fame did not make him less approachable or sincere. Einstein remained humble and courteous, irrespective of his societal stature. He consistently advocated against war and the fomenting of hostility among people. Did you know? Einstein's eldest son became a renowned scientist, while his younger son, who suffered from schizophrenia, lived in a mental hospital. Albert Einstein lived until the age of 76. Even in his old age, he maintained a sharp and lively mind. In the final year of his life, he sensed that his death was imminent. He informed those close to him that he had completed his mission on Earth. He wished for a simple funeral with his body cremated and his ashes scattered near a river. Only 12 people attended his funeral, even though his passing caused grief for thousands of people. Einstein's contemporaries remembered him as an inquisitive, friendly, and charming individual. He was known for his wit and a unique sense of humor. Despite his towering stature in the world of science, he was not snobbish. He remained humble and moderately self-assured. As a physicist, he acknowledged his mistakes and publicly apologized when he deemed it appropriate. He observed the world and nature with awe and reverence. To comprehend their regularities and connections, he challenged traditional ways of thinking. This approach brought about a radical shift in the course of scientific progress. Here's what you can do. Einstein's life exemplifies how questioning convention and refusing to accept received wisdom can lead to groundbreaking discoveries. Identify areas in your life where you have accepted received wisdom without questioning it. Experiment with alternative explanations for what you have accepted as the truth without questioning. Start with a harmless topic and gradually build your capacity to rethink from there. Watch the historical movie Einstein and Eddington, 2008. Read the novel Einstein's Dreams, 1992, by Alan Lightman. Listen to the musical works of Schumann, Hazel, and Lotus, which Einstein enjoyed playing on the violin.